Hi guys, and welcome back to another Blues prediction video. Now, apologies for my absence recently. I've missed the last two Blues games and the last two set of Premier League fixtures. I haven't been feeling very well, and well, I was quite demotivated regarding this, but I'm back. I'm going to keep going. I'm hopefully not going to miss another one till the end of the season now. And yeah, hopefully I can deliver a decent video about Blues. But we do have a few things to catch up first about on it. So, Blues, as you can see, top of the table. Last 5 games, 3 draws, 2 wins. Now, the last fixture was obviously on Thursday. The draw against Wrexham, 1-1. We'll look into that. We'll quickly look at something else regarding the top 6. So, obviously, 5 other sides in the top 6. And against those 5, if we take a look against Barnsley, it was a win. We've only played them once. Same with Huddersfield and same with Wycombe. So no points dropped there, 9 out of a possible 9. And then against Wrexham and Stockport, the other two sides, we've played them both twice, won 1, drew 1. So only dropped 2 points against each of these sides. 17 out of a possible 21 points against the other 5 in the top 6. I think that's a big reason why we're currently sitting top of the pile. 2 points ahead of Wycombe with 2 games in hand. And of course we want to win the league, but the most important thing is getting out of it and not having to go through the playoffs. And we're currently 5 points ahead of Wrexham with 2 games in hand. That really should be enough as long as we can get something now against Huddersfield. So the Wrexham game, if we take a quick look at that one, and it was a tough watch, to be honest. So let's dive into it, and if we quickly just move this over to the side, we can see both sides here, and obviously on paper we are the better side. We really should be winning a game like this, but Wrexham really brought it to us. Player statistics here maybe don't show you a massive amount, but if you look there at the top of the screen, Jay Stansfield was playing out on the left, and he managed, is that 7 out of 11 accurate passes? So he barely touched the ball, which is a big reason why Wrexham did so well in this. But if we look at, instead, the statistics over here, so Wrexham had 13 shots, 7 on target. There were a few goal-mouth scrambles in that as well. We had 7 shots, 1 on target, which was obviously the goal. So, or maybe it wasn't the goal, because if I remember, oh no, the shot has went, yeah, Lyndon Dykes on target. I was going to say it was a deflection. I don't know how SofaScore would count it, but yeah, so that's not great at all. Possession, we had 57%. Now, I thought they had more of the ball, but maybe it's because they had more of the ball in attacking areas. But that game, we really stood through it, and we did well to hold on, to be honest, because it got to a point where I thought we were going to lose it. But if you look at the starting lineup again, and I think this is what needs to be addressed in this window. Well, I think we'll go up anyway, but this starting lineup here, obviously this back 4 of Allsop, Laird, Clara, Davis, Cochrane, that is our starting back 4. You could argue Bielik gets into it at centre-back, but other than that, that is our back 5, including the goalkeeper. However, go forward to the midfield and the attack, so 6 players. Leonard, Gardner, Hickman don't start. Scott Wright, Lyndon Dykes don't start. Alfie May and Stansfield, you could argue start. However, I think our strongest lineup only has one of them playing, because both of them play very effectively in the striker and not very effectively everywhere else. You could maybe argue that Alfie May in the attacking mid position is good as well, but Stansfield anywhere but up front doesn't really seem to work well for me. Maybe the right's better than the left, but yeah. So you can actually argue 5 of the 6 players in that midfield and attack aren't on the starting team sheet because you choose one of Alfie May or Stansfield. So obviously we'd normally have Paik and Iwata, the central midfielders, Williamson as the attacking mid. So our 3 central midfielders that normally play, all out injured. On the right, Keshi Anderson starts over Scott Wright every day of the week for me. So there's another. He did come on and had almost an instant impact. And then on the left, I think Emil Hansen is our best option. So I'm not trying to make an excuse, but I've seen a lot of Blues fans kind of saying, how are we not beating Wrexham? They're basically a League 2 side that have just progressed well. Some of these players were in the National League, whatever. But momentum counts for a lot in football. Always does, always will, and always has. And we've got a lot of injuries. Our midfield is basically all missing. We don't really have any wingers, hence why we were playing a winger and a striker on the wings. So, we've got a striker in attacking mid as well. And he played very well. I thought Lyndon Dykes was the best attacking player on the pitch for us. So, yes, you could argue we should be beating Wrexham. And with the squad we put out, we should be beating Wrexham. However, it was important that we went there and didn't lose. And that's what happened. Do I think that if 2 of those 5 players that I mentioned were starting, that we'd have won the game? Yes. I think if one of Paik or Iwata were starting in midfield, we'd have had much more control and we'd have won the game. So I really don't think it's too bad. I think it's a point gained. And then you look at the other results for the weekend. If we quickly go back to round 28, the other results for the weekend were very good for us. So you can see there, Huddersfield lost 1-0 to Bolton. Great. Wickham drew 0-0 with Northampton. I know we drew with Northampton, but it's points that Wickham haven't gained on us. So we come out of the weekend, we're an extra game down, and we haven't lost ground on any of our promotion rivals. And the fact that we had the toughest fixture because we were Wrexham away, I think is a good weekend. Now this week will be a bit more of a challenge, I think, just due to the fact that Wrexham, a point was okay for Wrexham. Like they needed the win, but a point was okay. Whereas Huddersfield, they really, if they don't win this game, then they start falling slightly adrift of those automatic promotion spots. So Huddersfield could do with a win. If we look, Wickham are home against Barnsley, tough fixture for Wickham, and Wrexham are home against Stevenage, probably a game that they'll win. So yeah, us versus Huddersfield could prove difficult. If we look at Huddersfield's recent form, I believe they were unbeaten in, was it 16 games? Something pretty good, but that loss there in their last fixture against Bolton, new manager Bolton, well, I don't know if they've appointed anyone, but everyone has a bounce when they sack a manager, it seems. So Huddersfield now 48 points, and I think as long as we don't lose this, if we draw this game, we're 9 points clear of Huddersfield and we've got a game in hand. If we win it, we're 12 points clear of them with a game in hand. I think either of those scenarios pretty much takes Huddersfield out of the equation when it comes to catching us, because that means we have to slack off for 3 games and they have to keep winning, and I just don't see it happening. The only way they stay in this race against us, I think, is with a win, and even then might not be enough because there'd still be 6 points behind us and we'd still have a game in hand over them. 39 scored, 22 conceded in 26. Pretty good record. As you can see, we've got 43 scored, 18 conceded in 25. So we've scored a few more, conceded a few less, and played 1 less game. But to be honest, their record is pretty good, as is the top 4, at being defensively sound and good attackingly as well. We look at their home form, Huddersfield 5th. So they haven't won any of their last 3 home games, drawing 2 and losing 1. 8 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. Not great, but decent. 18 scored, 12 conceded in those 14. So very good at home. Very good at home in terms of hard to beat. But then again, they had a rough start. But then again, they did lose the last game at home, so there's a chance. If we take a quick look down the page, apologies. If we take a quick look specifically at Huddersfield's stats, so their top players this season, Michael Hellick is first, but he has left to Oxford. Ben Wiles, Brody Spencer, Mikael Miller, Matthew Pearson and Tom Lee. So defenders and a couple of midfielders. All 4 defenders are in there, to be honest. Obviously Hellick's left, but that shows that their strengths lie in defence, not necessarily attack. Their forwards not doing great. Dion Charles has signed for them, so maybe he will be a good signing, but he didn't do anything when we played against Bolton. If we scroll down, I know what I'm looking for. Sorry, here. For some reason it's all condensed. So their attacking stats, goals per game 1.5, big chances per game 2.7, big chances missed per game 1.9. So they create a fair amount of big chances, but they miss the majority of them. So they're not clinical at all by the looks of it. In terms of possession, 53%, 12 clean sheets in, was it 26? Yeah, not bad at all. Concede 0.8 per game, so they're one of the only sides that concede less than 1 goal per game, which is obviously something we're going to have to break down. But I think we'll be able to break that down. So if we take a look at how we think we're going to get on in this, it could be a tough one. They beat Stockport, drew with Burton, drew with Rotherham, beat Wickham, drew with Blackpool, and then lost to Bolton. I've got a feeling that Blues are going to get the win here, as do the bookies. It's 2-1 on Huddersfield, 27-20 on Blues. So, 40-20 will be 2-1. So we're I don't know how far clear that necessarily is. Well, we are favourites, decently strong favourites. It's not like we're priced below evens or anything like that, because we're not. But I think they're expecting us to win. I think if we were the home side, we'd probably be about evens. But yeah, they think we're going to win. I agree. Or do I? It's tough. If players are back, we'll be okay, I think. But if we've got the same midfield situation, maybe we won't win it. I'm going to go for... I think I'm going to go for another draw, like the Wrexham game. I'm going to go 1-1. Get your predictions down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.